So, how you doing, YouTube? Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be for you. I got some comments I want to throw down here for you on an article, something you definitely should look at and investigate on your own. The director or organizer of the Gray State movie that was being developed, or a concept movie, obviously it was lacking funding and stuff with some of its issues, but apparently the director has been killed, and his family in what they're calling a murder-suicide. I'll put the link to the articles below. I found two from the local papers there in, I guess, Minnesota. Next News did an article about it, but it doesn't match. It doesn't meet the smell test. There's a lot of stuff missing from these articles that you would usually find in a situation like this. The guy was missing. Nobody had contact with him for almost 3 weeks. People said they saw him before Christmas, and then they kind of lost contact. The neighbors assuming they left town, but there was never any reference to any family members or anybody else that would obviously get in touch with you between Christmas and New Year's. I mean, the guy's, a entrepreneur. How would you just be discounted for 3 weeks with nobody even getting in contact with him or being suspicious and investigating? That's one thing that stood out. Another, there's no reference to the family in either of the articles of, at the request of the family and their privacy, we will not, put out any other information, which I can, understand if their family said, don't put out certain things about the killing or whatever, how it happened and things like that. And there's zero. There's not a type of weapon used, mode of death, anything like that. Usually the news digs pretty down. I guess since it is a smaller town, usually maybe a local newspaper wouldn't dig as far, and it's not the high-profile people. But there's really not a comment from the police or the sheriff. There's not a request for information from the police or sheriff. They closed this investigation down in a day. They took down the police lines and moved on. Usually, in any type of investigation, they will be like, we would like to know who the last person to see them was. Please come forward if you have information. If you saw them or talked to them, but since Christmas or something like that. There was nothing like that. They pretty much went in there, shut the investigation down the same day. That's very, how highly unusual is that one, especially for a family of this, younger age. If that's becoming the standard of police investigation, we're all in very big trouble. So that's just a couple of things that really got me. Yeah, we don't know the details of how it happened. This just smells very, very deeply, and I don't know how we get the word out more or voice more concern, but definitely go take a look at it and draw some of your own conclusions or thoughts. We'll talk to you later, YouTube. Live free.